Hello, and welcome to the fifth episode of the second season of the Eagle Bitch Actress podcast. I'm your host, Sadie C., and here is our co host, Superman. Let's greet all three people that are going to listen to this. Yo. Well, the weather has been very hot in Los Angeles for the last week. Everything's been hot except for my subscriber count, which is pretty pathetic. But guys, please subscribe, like, and follow, or this might be the actual goodbye episode. It is. It really is 100% dependent on my mood, which is not so great right now considering how hot it is. And I'm not really functioning in this heat. So yesterday was probably the hottest day this year. I think I saw like 107 or 110. And I couldn't believe my eyes. Guys, global warming is real. Need I say it again and again? I am living proof. See? I have to give up North Pole to come to this shitty desert-y place. It's real, okay? The other day, I was listening to one of my other episode from season 1, and I'm so embarrassed. In the middle of the podcast, there was a gap of silence of, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 or 10 seconds. But that was the most awkward thing ever. Can't believe I missed that. And it got published. That's why I'm not an editor. And I will never be a professional editor because that's not my forte. Also, I should have listened to it once after I edited it. Oh well, I have to say, the first season, even though the editing is funky, the content is gold. Go check it out and watch all of them. Every episode is 10 to 13 minutes. I love myself. Wait, that sentence sounds so weird. I love myself for nailing that perfect length of like 12 minutes for a podcast episode. I think it's ideal for the attention span of our current human species. People don't last as long. That also sounds kind of wrong, but people's attention spans don't last as long as before. Ooh, technology. So today, like always, we're gonna do today's like 3 mini eco tips, triple the eco tips, plus another actress story from my life. First mini eco tip is, it's all about the heat because, like a 107 or like a 36 Celsius degree day, that is just unbearable. So I hope everyone takes care of their body so they don't overheat because we don't want to crowd the hospital with people who overheated. So for the first tip only applies to people living in Los Angeles or deserts. In Los Angeles, which is a desert, the temperature can be super hot. But once the sun sets, okay, it's the heat that's messing with my brain. But when the sun sets, the outside temperature drops really quickly. So you will find nights in Los Angeles pretty cool, pretty comfortable, instead of, say, in Asia, when the temperature doesn't drop after sunsets because it's just a concrete jungle, most of Asia. So, at least in Los Angeles or maybe Arizona, if it's the same climate, instead of running the AC the whole time, you can just not have the AC and open your window at the right time after sunset. The outside air will come in and actually neutralize with the hot air indoors. It will lower your house's temperature rather quickly. The other day I saw the electricity company issue a possible warning on the news that there might be a blackout because in the excessive heat wave, there will be excessive electricity use and it might be too much for the grid to handle and they might run out of power. And I am the only one who's worried. I'm like, I can't be one of the people contributing to the blackout. By the way, I never turn on my AC. I can do until maybe like the high 90s without turning on the AC. Also, my house is okay. It's not too high, but it was still unbearable when it goes to 107 or something. The thing is, you don't have to turn it on. Like, even in the hottest of days, I turn it on for maybe an hour and I turn it off. After sunset, the house gets steaming hot and it gets pretty cool outside. So you can just go outside too. just leave the house after sunset, like a good werewolf. I don't know. Is that a good joke? So that's the first eco tip. Did you get it? I don't know if that was well explained, but in the desert, so you open your window. And it did work at my house by like 11 p.m. and midnight. It gets so balanced that it's super cool and breezy and it feels nice without AC. And you save the grid. Come, be a hero. Save the grid with me, the eco bitch. The second mini eco tip is to fight the heat. Okay, if you can't see the video on YouTube, I'm holding a tiny blanket with the face of our co-star Superman on it. No, it's a little sheet with polar bears on it. This is a product from Japan. So Japan is super hot in the summer and they have a ton of stuff to fight this. I lived in Japan before, so I learned all those tricks. These are just like cooling off cloths. And I put them on my pillow and it does cool down my body. It feels kind of light and cool to the touch and it cools your body for like 10 minutes and then the sheet gets so hot. But see, even visually looking at a polar bear, it just helps you cool down. Zen yourself, just manifest the cool. That's my second eco tip. The third mini tip to fight the heat is to go to the library. I know it sounds lame, but go to the library, they have AC. And I know like my local library opens like a emergency heat shelter. I'm serious, that's not even a joke. Like when it became, I didn't go in because the only thing I do at a shelter is volunteer. Is that? I don't know if I'll have to edit that out. Okay. But yeah, the library has AC. Please check it out. I refrain to say coffee places only because I can't stay for more than 2 hours for some reason at a coffee place. I just feel like I want to leave. Okay. Moving on to our actress story. The actress story I'm sharing today happened just a few months ago. It was a fun little story in an acting class. Ooh, I have so much to say about acting classes. I took so many, like an actor should. And in one of the classes, we are doing a monologue that we wrote ourselves. And it's like the most traumatizing story ever or something like that. And then we had to switch character with another person. And the teacher was being fun. So he switched me with a guy's monologue, which is fine. I mean, usually it doesn't happen that much. So, because, well, let's not go there, but usually in traditional old school acting, you know, there are roles for men and roles for women and scripts for, I'll say, male characters and female characters. And usually in the olden times, it didn't mingle. There were barely, if any, chance for me to portray a man or I guess never until that class. So it was the first class where I really prepared myself for a guy's role. Well, it's not true. For Shakespeare, I did a man's role, but that's kind of different because it's even more old school. So it's the first time that as a woman, I'm doing a man's role. Let's just keep it at that. I mean, today it gets complicated, but it was just as simple as that. It was my first time preparing to play a man and really dig into the psyche, you know what I mean? The inner thoughts of men, which is a simple job because men don't really think about stuff. Anyway, the story pretty much went there. It was a dude driving. I can even just do the monologue, but it's something like, oh, I was very young and I was gonna go party at Vegas with my friends. So we drove, but then there was a big traffic jam and there was no toilet. My friend just, should I do that voice? I'm not mocking, but I am a little. So he just gave me an empty water bottle and he was just like, okay, just do it here. And then I couldn't hold it in, so I just went to the back and peed in this water bottle for the first time in my life, which is fine. You know, I did complain to the teacher. I'm like, well, I have no references of how it would feel to have to do that, like anatomically. And I really don't want to overthink it. But for a monologue, I really had to because he literally wrote in his monologue, I pulled out my thing and tried to aim for the water bottle. But then right then, he made a sudden stop and boom, the next second, the window was wet. Something like that. Oh my God. I'm still slightly traumatized. It was not easy to do. But of course, it's comedic at this point. It's it's a true story though. So I had to perform it in class. Thankfully, a Zoom class. But still, in front of a bunch of classmates, I had to visually describe in a lot of detail how I pull my thing out and not aim right. And the whole thing just splashed. And my friend turned over and was like, "What? Dude, I can't believe you peed in my car." I can discuss how it was a big learning thing for me because, first of all, girls, it would be a different story. I mean, I don't know if it'll work like a water bottle for a woman in that situation. But first of all, guys are very careless. Second of all, guys get embarrassed too. Like there's this strange male friend relationship. The way male friends are with each other, it's like, what do you call it? Wolf packs. They have to put up this front. Whereas women, if it's the same situation, women friends would be like, "Oh, it's okay. Like, I got you covered. Oh, are you okay?" Or like, "It's fine. Don't worry about it." And the guy would be like, "Dude, what the fuck?" Also, like, guys care about their cars a lot. So at the end of the monologue, they stopped at a gas station. The guy friend who drove was like, "Dude, clean up my car. Wipe it down with this sanitary wipe." I feel like I can only speak for myself, I guess, because I'm also not a germaphobe and I'm also not a man. But if something like that happened to me, I wouldn't fuss about it so much. I can see that more often than not. Guys are very like picky and protective of their car more than women. Like my car is, of course, I'm still gonna want the pee to be cleaned up, but it's okay. And maybe I'll just get it washed later. It's not a big deal for me. Say there's a bird poop. If I see a bird poop on my windshield, which often I see, that fucking bird, no. It might be there for 2 weeks before I wash the car and it's okay. But I'm sure like the dude in the story, he would go crazy and just clean it up an hour later. So yeah, I'm just dirty. That's all. No. It was a lot of learning for me to really try to portray a guy because it was just for training purposes. We're not putting this on stage, but it's an exploration of the world that I almost would never learn about if I didn't have to perform this monologue. So it was pretty great. And dude, the whole class flipped out laughing when I say I pulled my thing out, which I had to say, which that's the biggest challenge for me because I do not want to say I pulled my thing out. It's just so annoying, but I did it. It's one of the big breakthrough I had this year. That's been an acting story. Oh, I have 2 shows now, one in September 12th and September 19th. Please come check out my Instagram, CDC Official. Bye.